any fruit scones. Now, when we say any fruit, of course, we're talking about you can use pretty much any fruit you like. And so we've got a couple of ideas here, but let's talk about how we put these together.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get into the fruit shortly here, but let's start off with our dry ingredients. So we have our flour pre-measured, and then we are going to add into it our granulated sugar. We have baking powder.
And again, this has all been very, very carefully measured out.
Measuring matters. And then our salt goes in here. I like to make sure that my dry ingredients are kind of like, I like a fork. It's just it's just sort of a go-to thing for me in the kitchen. You could use a whisk, but a fork is just so much easier. You want to make sure it's all kind of blended together, evenly disperse all those dry ingredients.
And we have been talking about Zest as well. And so if you're going, you can use Zest. I always put Zest with when I make scones, so either orange or lemon, whatever I've kind of got handy. And this is when you put it.
I would put it in now, and with the flour, because then it kind of gets coated with the flour and it disperses it evenly. So you have like that lemon flavor throughout and not just in odd bites.
Cool,
Yeah, so this is gonna be the base for it.
All right.
Next is where we have our delicious, nutritious egg.
Yes, Countryside Farms Vita eggs, yet again, local ingredients, okay.
Yeah, so this technique is a little different than you might be used to in your kitchen, but we've cracked the egg into our measuring cup. It's already in there, and then I'm going to take my milk and I'm gonna bring myself up to half a cup. Now, ideally, you'd get down to eye level, make sure you're very accurate. And this helps, if your eggs vary in size or depending on what size of egg you have at home, then this gets your half cup liquid. You're gonna mix that together.
Because it's really about the wet-dry ratio. So that's kind of a brilliant tip. I love that, because the eggs are all different sizes.
Exactly, but we're gonna keep this because we need it for the very end. I'm gonna show you why.
All right.
So our egg, milk is in, canola oil. This is a pantry staple in my house.
Star of the show.
Affordable, pantry basic. Canola oil. We want to mix this together. And again, one of the tricks with this recipe and this dough is the less handling, the better. So you don't want to overmix. You want to get it to the point where you're starting to see the dry disappear, and this is where you need your fruit. So today we have fresh blueberries. So you see how they're still wet in there, but they're still dry. This is the time for the fruit.
Okay.
Fresh blueberries today. You could use fresh raspberries. You could use frozen. If you're gonna use frozen, you literally wanna take it out of the freezer right now. Keep it as frozen as possible.
Oh, I see.
Until you're ready to dump. Don't thaw it out. You'll turn them blue.
Moisture.
I mean, if you want blue scones, go for it.
All right.
They're still delicious, so just from the visual perspective.
Sure.
So this is where your blueberries would go in. Now, I like to get this just a little bit more mixed, and I kind of just squish it together, and I pretty much dump it onto my pan.
Got this lovely, bunch of dough here, so we're gonna bring that.
Yeah, we're gonna bring this in here.
A disc. That's the word.
A disc. Yeah, it really is a disc. So this is on here. You're gonna flatten it down into the right number of inches that the recipe is calling for on your pan.
Okay, great taste, mb.ca for the recipe, by the way.
Yeah. This one, you take your knife. I like to cut right on my parchment, so it's right ready to go into the oven. This gets cut into 8.
Okay.
We're gonna cut these up. Next is where we brush on that milk.
Yeah.
This is where I take this. There's a little bit of egg in there. It's a great product for putting on the top and getting that great coating on the top. Stir it up with your brush. Now the measurement
not quite as important for that part.
It's really not. Your cup is already dirty. You really only need to add enough milk to get them all glistening.
Okay.
And on top.
So we're going to fire this into the oven.
Well, one more thing. Yeah, we just got to pull them apart. So we pull them apart, and we can put some sugar. Toss some sugar on top.
How could I forget the sugar? Okay. We can do that.
We can sugar them up.
Okay.
I get my hands really messy here. But you want to pull them apart, separate them out. Sugar gives that nice, crispy, delicious top coating.
Got them all.
Got them in.
Okay. Awesome.
Slide those into the oven. We need them kind of pulled apart.
And then, so about how long are we baking these for?
We are baking these for 15 to 20 minutes until they're nice and golden and crispy.
Okay, so we're going to take care of that in a moment. Of course, you've got the idea. This is what they look like at the end, which is absolutely fantastic. All right, any fruit scones here on Great Taste of Manitoba. When we come back, we've got our, is it lentil soda bread?
Lentil soda bread.
Awesome. We'll be right back here on Great Taste.
You're watching Great Tastes of Manitoba, brought to you in part by Manitoba's farmers and ranchers. Local farms, local foods.